A ship found drifting in the open ocean, sails loosened by the wind, hull steady against the water, cargo untouched, food preserved in the galley, but every single person on board was gone. No struggle, no blood, no signs of violence, no distress calls, just silence. This is the true story of the Mary Celeste, the ghost ship of 1872, a maritime mystery that historians, investigators, and sailors have studied for over a century, because nothing about this case makes sense, and every detail only raises more questions. The Mary Celeste was an American merchant brigantine, sturdy, well-built, and commanded by Captain Benjamin Briggs, a respected navigator known for caution, discipline, and sound judgment at sea. On November 7, 1872, the ship departed New York, bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying a valuable cargo of denatured alcohol sealed inside wooden barrels stored deep in the hold. The crew consisted of experienced sailors personally selected by Briggs, men he trusted, and unlike many merchant voyages of the time, this one was not only professional, it was personal. His wife, Sarah, and their young daughter were also aboard. The ship sailed into the Atlantic in calm but shifting seasonal weather, the kind that demanded vigilance but not fear. Captain Briggs' final entries in the logbook showed no panic, no hint of mutiny, illness, or danger. The ship was steady, the crew functioning normally, the journey progressing as expected. And then, at some point in late November or early December, something happened. Something so strange, so unsettling, that the crew appears to have made a decision no sailor ever takes lightly. They abandoned a seaworthy ship. On December 4, 1872, the British ship Dei Grazia spotted a vessel drifting slowly across the water. The sails were partially set, the course irregular, as if guided not by intention but by wind and current. The officers recognized the name painted on the stern. It was the Mary Celeste. A small boarding team approached. The closer they came, the more unsettling the scene became. No voices, no footsteps, no movement. Just the creaking of ropes and the gentle thud of waves against wood. When the sailors climbed aboard, they found a ship that looked, impossibly, as if life had simply paused. The cargo hold was full and properly secured. Barrels intact and undisturbed, except for a small number later discovered to be leaking. Supplies and provisions were still there. The captain's cabin contained clothing neatly folded, personal belongings in order, not hastily abandoned. The crew's quarters showed no evidence of a struggle, no overturned chests, no signs of theft or conflict. Food was stored. Water was available. There was no sign of fire. No smell of smoke. No scorched wood. No shattered glass. And yet, the crew was gone. The lifeboat was missing, along with a sextant, some navigation charts, and a chronometer, suggesting an evacuation that was deliberate rather than chaotic. But the most disturbing detail was how ordinary the rest of the ship looked. The galley still had cookware in place. The cabin furniture was unbroken. Pipes and tobacco were left sitting untouched, as if their owners expected to return. The pumps showed signs of use. Some water had entered the bilge, but not enough to threaten the ship. The deck showed mild weathering. The sails were damaged, but not destroyed. The rope lines were worn, but not cut in panic. To the men of the Dei Grazia, the scene felt wrong in a way that could not be explained by wind or waves alone. If the ship had been sinking, they would have found chaos. If pirates had attacked, valuables would be missing. If mutiny had occurred, there would be destruction. But here, there was nothing, just absence. The logbook entry stopped abruptly, revealing the last recorded position of the ship, but no mention of distress, emergency, or fear. The crew had apparently been functioning normally only shortly before they vanished. So what could cause an experienced captain to order his crew, including his own wife and child, into a lifeboat in the open ocean? Investigators studied the barrels of industrial alcohol. Some had expanded and leaked due to temperature changes. If fumes escaped and spread throughout the hold, it could have created moments of intense chemical odor or even small flashes of ignition, frightening but non-destructive. The crew may have believed an explosion was imminent. Briggs may have decided to evacuate temporarily, securing everyone in the lifeboat, tying it to the ship with a rope until the danger passed. A sudden wave, a snapped towline, shifting winds, and the ship could have drifted away, leaving the lifeboat stranded, powerless, slowly disappearing into the horizon while the Mary Celeste continued forward, empty and silent. But this theory fails to explain why the crew took so few supplies, and why a captain as experienced as Briggs would risk abandoning a structurally sound ship for an unstable lifeboat in unpredictable seas. Other historians proposed the misreading of water intake theory. The bilge held some water. If the ship appeared lower in the water than expected, perhaps due to a defective pump or inaccurate readings, Briggs might have believed the hull was flooding more severely than it truly was. In fog or bad visibility, a decision made under pressure could have felt urgent and necessary. The tragedy then would not be chaos, but miscalculation. More sensational versions emerged too. Mutiny, piracy, insurance fraud, secret violence at sea. But each collapses under evidence. No valuables were missing. No weapons were drawn. No blood was found. No damage indicated a fight. And above all, Captain Briggs had no motive to destroy his own command, no reason to endanger his family, no financial desperation or criminal connection. The legal hearings that followed only deepened the mystery. Testimony became entangled with rumor. Early newspaper reports exaggerated details. Sailors embellished accounts. Myths grew around false discoveries, imaginary sword marks, fabricated bloodstains, and phantom witnesses. The Mary Celeste transformed from an abandoned merchant vessel into a maritime legend. Yet beneath the exaggeration lies one cold fact. Something happened on that ship that caused every soul on board to leave, never to return, and the ocean erased whatever truth existed between that decision and their final fate. No bodies were ever recovered. No surviving lifeboat was found. No sailor ever claimed to escape. The Atlantic swallowed their story. Today, the Mary Celeste remains one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in naval history, studied not as folklore, but as a cautionary reminder that the sea often keeps its answers. And sometimes the most terrifying mysteries are the ones where nothing appears wrong, except that everyone is gone. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy deep historical investigations and real unsolved mysteries like this one, consider leaving a like and subscribing. It helps the channel grow and brings more stories like this to life.